I started doing some workshops with Jim Cartwright, and I had this idea in my head, and it started out as a monologue, literally a 5-minute monologue.
Yeah.
And from there, I just kept writing and kept trying to find something from it. And then I started using experiences that I'd gone through living in, working class North, and things I'd experienced and how I'd fallen into a similar thing when I was young, and I'd grown up and grown away from it. And then I thought the story of being about two brothers, about one sharing the story of his brother. But then what are we exposing? We're exposing the notion of crime, the notion of, although you love someone, if they do something to you, can you forgive that person? Because at the end of the day, they're still your brother. And so I suppose the inspiration was living in the cities, walking around, experiencing things myself, and then adding to it, how can I, because obviously we've got the Fringe is set in Manchester, can we have a story that's set in Manchester and Salford, grounded here, but explores more than just the glamorization of the city, exposes something that maybe people don't realize and don't see. And I love kind of my working class. I think there's a lot of working class TV and film, but do we see genuinely these days a lot of hard-hitting working class drama in the theatre? I don't think we do. But why are these stories not being told? And I felt this is a story we need to tell. A lot of it, thinking about Jim's old work and then Shane Meadows, that kind of theme, these stories that they're grounded in naturalism and comedy, but there's a darker element to them, really. It's written by me, performed by me, and directed by a lady called Miranda Parker, who directs for JB Shorts and a few other things as well. So it's going to be a challenge. I've written bits and bobs, like stuff for BBC Radio and a few short stuff, but this is my first full-length play, so to speak. So yeah, again, that was a challenge, writing in a longer form. So yeah, I co-wrote a production called Sunley, which was for BBC Radio, and then I wrote a children's audiobook called The Jacksons a few years ago. I've written a lot of kind of performance poetry stuff, and then I've written lots of little monologues, and everyone's like, well, you should write a play, you should do it. And I'm like, yeah, and I suppose, I have to be honest, probably fear of being like, is it going to be good enough in comparison to what I see around me? Can I create a story? Can I do it justice? How can I transition something from the mind onto page in that length? And I just thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the experiences I've got. I'm going to set time aside. And I've had times where I was 90% there and I didn't touch it for 3 months, and then I've just kept coming back to it. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I think putting on stories that I think need to be told more. I think we talk about theatre being applicable to people of all generations and all classes, but I still think that regardless of what we say or what we're trying to promote, I still feel like theatre seems to be more accessible by the middle class and above. If I can create a story that connects with people from different backgrounds, that can influence them, whilst telling a story that I want to tell, and that as a performer I feel challenges me, but allows me to expose myself, because people say in this industry, oh, well, you can't get a role in what you want to do. Oh, well, just write one for yourself. But I mean, it's easier said than done, because you need to tick and get certain fulfillments and requirements. So now I think creating something that A, shows what I can do, but B, is a story that everybody can relate to, I hope, and everybody can kind of grab and pick up. That's what I'm excited about.